And take a look at this. Native fish are making a comeback in Big Chico Creek. And first responders from across Butte County unite at Chico State for emergency training. You'll see the action unfold. And fog has rolled in some parts of Northern California. We'll bring you the latest on conditions.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
Well, we saw blue skies this afternoon around our area, but it was a foggy morning. Here's a look now at time-lapse from earlier today. This is looking over Trinity County. That's not bad at all, just wispy clouds moving across the sky. And Chief Meteorologist Howie Gordon is tracking conditions for us right now as we head into this Monday evening. And how's it looking now? Are we clear, Howie?
Crystal, Alan, crystal. Looking pretty good. Okay, here's what we have. Temperature-wise, already dropping down the mid to upper 50s. The higher elevations, Chester 43, Alturas 38, Weaverville 44, and Truckey's already down to 36 degrees. Okay, chilly overnight in the mornings. Winds on the calm side, but that the quick cool down, the lack of winds, that allows for a quick cool down to develop fog. Let's talk about our fog. Visibility right now is perfect pretty much anywhere you go in Northern California, but that's going to change because as we quickly cool down, that air cools, the ground stays really cool, and you get that fog, that condensation development, the fog in the low levels, which are clouds at the ground. High pressures here to trap that fog in the lower levels. Thus, we are looking at some dense fog advisory, which we'll get to, but first, here's what we have. So by about midnight tonight, we're under a dense fog advisory that goes until tomorrow morning. So you want to drive on the safe and the slower side. So again, for the central and southern Sacramento Valley, visibility is coming down to a quarter of a mile or less. You want to drive on the safe and slower side. Alan showed Trinity County just a moment ago, mostly blue skies. Well, those blue skies are going to allow the heat to escape. We're going to see temperatures down to 33 to 36 degrees. So air level temperatures are taken at about 7 feet above the ground. That means the ground, the grass, windows on cars could be below freezing. So we are looking at frost. So protect those people, plants, pipes, and I think I forgot one, but either way, be very safe with the frost advisory, Alan, and the fog.
Yeah, people, of course, pets as well.
People are kind of important.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Howie. We told you at the top of the newscast how first responders from across Butte County gathered at Chico State today for a unique training opportunity. Action News Now reporter Bea Barbosa shows us how it went down.
When these critical incidents happen, seconds matter.
10 agencies from across Butte County worked through multiple scenarios in an all-day training.
Us all being able to come together and provide a unified response is critical, and that's why these exercises are so important.
Chico Police let me cross the tape to get a behind-the-scenes look at this critical incident training.
60 volunteers worked to make the training feel realistic for officers, wearing makeup and fake blood, and even acting as injured victims for first responders to assess and carry out of the building. From boots on the ground to an ambulance in the air, officers practiced how to respond to different types of threats and emergencies, from a hostage scenario to an officer down.
We are trained to prepare for the worst day so the community has the best possible outcome.
And while this training benefits all agencies in coordinating their response to an incident, Gates says it is especially helpful for those who may not have responded to something like this before.
Exercises like this allow patrol-level officers to have a higher level of training because they are very likely to be the first on scene at a critical incident. And so being able to provide this realistic scenario-based training to them allows them to really, enhance their abilities to provide emergency response when an incident arises.
In Chico, Bea Barbosa, Action News Now.
Gates says the drills also provided an opportunity for agencies from outside of Chico to become familiar with the area if they were to respond to an incident. The CHP said that it made a DUI arrest after a driver hit the guard shack at the entrance to the Lake California subdivision that is north of Red Bluff in Tehama County. It happened about 1:30 this morning. A sergeant with the Red Bluff CHP office told us the vehicle hit that shack at a very slow speed, causing minimal damage. 25-year-old Fernando Kiosian was arrested for driving under the influence of drugs. Investigators say he was nodding off at the wheel and was driving in and out of consciousness. New tonight, Redding police arrested a parolee after a traffic stop in the area of Eureka Way and California Street. They say Michael Johns was driving erratically when they pulled him over, and they say that he refused to comply with officers' commands when they pulled him over. They say they found that he was on parole for a firearm-related offense and had a handgun in the driver's side door. Officers forcibly removed him from the vehicle, took him into custody, and confiscated the gun. New tonight, the CDFW, the Division of Wildlife, Fish and Wildlife, is working to reintroduce native fish species to the upper reaches of Big Chico Creek. Now, decades ago, Big Chico Creek was chemically treated in an attempt to boost salmon and trout populations by removing native minnows and other important forage fish from the creek. At the time, these fish were believed to be competing with salmon and trout. Instead, as a result of the treatment, the creek's ecosystem collapsed, and it has struggled ever since.
In 1986, the department at the time thought that these native fishes were competing with the salmon, and so they put poison in the creek called rotenone, and it eliminated all of those native fishes. And so once we did that, it was kind of like a Jenga puzzle. Once you pull one piece, then another piece, it sort of fell apart.
Experts say they're now trying to gather several native fishes and bring them back to the ecosystem. This work takes place along the Iron Canyon Fish Passage project that will remove a significant barrier in Big Chico Creek, blocking spring run Chinook salmon, as well as steelhead and other fish species from reaching their historic habitat in the cooler waters upstream. New at 6, in-home emergency sirens in the town of Paradise are now available. We told you earlier this year that the town had acquired in-house sirens and pre-registration was open. Well, the town of Paradise now says pre-registration is no longer needed and that you can now order your unit and it will be delivered to your home. The town said that the project is in response to some residents having a hard time hearing tests of the emergency alert sirens inside their homes. The home siren plugs into an outlet and features audio and visual notifications, and they're free, but are available on a first-come, first-served basis. We do have a link to where you can order one on our website under News Links. Well, the city of Chico says that Chico Police and Fire, they're using a new emergency notification system. We told you last week that amid an ongoing Code Red outage, that Butte County Sheriff's Office was changing the county's emergency notification system. Today, Chico Police and Fire announced they will also be transitioning to the California Rave platform for emergency alerts. Now, this change replaces the old Code Red system. Officials say everyone needs to create a new account with Rave to continue getting emergency alerts in their preferred language and contact method, and you can do that on our website. Just look for the News tab, then click on News Links. New tonight, the Office of Traffic Safety has awarded $110,000 toward the Shasta County Health and Human Services Agency. This is to ensure child safety travel on the road. Now, the money will go toward programs including seat inspection, education classes, free child safety seats for families in need, and community outreach efforts. The grant program will run through September 26. This week on Straight from the Source, Butte County Supervisor and Police Lieutenant Peter Durfee talks about flood prevention and his not-so-humble beginnings as a Major League Baseball umpire.
I worked my way up through the minor leagues and into the big leagues with some of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Buster Posey was in the minor leagues with me.
Who is tougher on umpires? Major league, minor league fans, or parents of high school?
Right.
And yeah.
Now, Little League parents are the worst because they all believe that their kid is the next Mark McGuire or Barry
Yes.
Bonds.
Oh, yes.
Right? Which they should.
Right.
Right? As a parent, you want to support your kid.
Yeah.
As everybody knows, flooding is a problem here in Butte County, especially in District 2. So just in the past, 8 months. In February of last year or this year, we had a very serious storm come through, and we were able to work with our Department of Public Works and the director, Josh Pack, and we had emergency services performed at the Kiefer Slough Rock Creek bifurcation. Stuff that hasn't been done in 20 years.
Right.
We were able to get accomplished, over just a few days. So that is, the flooding issues in Butte County. We're doing everything we can to curb that. And then also we got to talk about 5 Mile, right? What we've done at 5 Mile just over the last 2 months.
Right.
Supervisor Ritter has led that charge, and she's done an outstanding job with our Director of Public Works. And 5 Mile, it's not fixed, but we are in a way better situation right now than we were 2 or 3 months ago. So things are better.
Yeah.
I was taught as a young person by my dad, you always leave things better than how you found them.
You can find the full unedited conversation streaming now on our Action News Now YouTube channel, as well as our website and any podcast platform. New at 6, could your child's jacket be a hazard if you were to get into a crash? Public health officials say that, yeah, we'll break it down for you. But first, the CHP will be cracking down on illegal driving with its maximum enforcement period.